All right, the first show of the
the
new
year.
yeah, yeah. All right, I guess this will be number one.
Yeah.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, a week in review, our first show
The year.
of the year. So-
Number one.
All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put on our intro video. That way you can like, share, and comment. Hey, this is the CSRN podcast, a week in review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
Not guilty.
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who.
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage where
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. It was freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own emancipation proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you are not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are officially back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review, our first show of 2026. And as always, let's get into some introductions. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonhardi.
Combined their names.
Yeah, they combined their names. Hey, along with Mike Leonhardi and Jabril Bey. Man, this November, it'll be 12 years ago. It was them that had the idea of Community Solidarity Day, and then they had a couple of events. Then they called me to ask if I could help organize a couple of protests. And then after the protests, and Jody's going to say the date, but after that protest, everybody went to the Kent Branch Library to just kind of have a victory celebration that we did it. We were at the Lucas County courthouse, the police, SWAT team. Everybody showed up to make sure that we were safe and they were safe. And from then, it was a Tuesday. So every Tuesday we were organized until 2020 and COVID. And a lot of us decided that we weren't going to be meeting. And we set this podcast thing up, and it's grown and grown. More stuff, more cameras, more microphones. And all right, what am I wearing today? Today, I don't have on my protest clothes. So if I were to wear this, I definitely don't look like a rioter today. All right.
You might look like a No Kings rioter.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man. But I've got on a sweater. I've got a sports shirt underneath, my gray hat. I've got my blue glasses, my blue purple type glasses from Optico and Twix in between. So shout out to Christian Moncrief for putting me on with some really nice glasses. I got my beads on today. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And I do say that setup thing that we did, setting up, kind of makes it easier to just ease on in with this. And we do this for the protest community and activist culture, where we create our own space to promote each other. Those of us that are actually doing things in the community. Of course, we can sound the alarm and talk about what we like to do or what we want done, but sometimes it's maybe even better to have people on talking about what they're actually doing now, and we can help them do it. So that's my intro. Jody, if you can go get your intro in, and then we can start with our mission statement and keep this thing moving.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth, the treasurer of this wonderful organization. And I'd like to say happy Insurrection Day.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, I guess it seemed to work. We just stole a country, and then that's my energy for all this year. Just in case you were wondering, outside of the books and the artwork and the performances and flag raising and doing all the stuff, I am protest gear ready all the time.
Yeah, you are. All right.
Wherever I show up, I am.
I look like I'm just ready to go bail you out. All right.
No, like I said, you look like one of the No Kings people.
Yeah.
You know, I went to like one of them. It was different.
Yeah.
Chants were a little bit different. But anyway, Happy New Year to each and every last one of you out there. We thank you for joining us every single week. We got 47 more shows to go. This is number
absolutely.
one. We thank you for watching us back, because we know around this time is when you got things going on. You're getting off of work. If you work 9 to 5, it might be picking kids up or doing some other stuff to relax your day. And since we are on more than just one platform, you can find us here on Facebook Live. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify. And on Spotify, of course, you don't get to see our beautiful Black melanated faces. So this is why we describe ourselves, because we don't want you thinking that we are not part of what we are talking about. We are so far removed away that we're just like, oh, those people need help. No, we the people that need help.
That's right.
We're just the ones dumb enough to go out there and say, hey, here's a target on my back.
That's right.
I'm gonna make sure I can't be bought. I can't be content created away from doing the stuff that actually helps people. If your year, this is almost the first week of the year. I can say I hope it is better than what last year was for you, and it gets better. If it's not, it's just the first 6 days.
That's right.
Of 2026. For those of you out there, since I gave that long description, I am a big brown bear of a man that is covered in tattoos and crystals and stones and bones and artifacts from doing this for the last, as Brother Washington said, which kind of makes me feel old in November.
That's right.
12
years. Yeah.
Where I walked away from a job I had at the time, started writing books and creating other outlets and merchandise to fund all of this. There's no Soros or anybody outside of us involved. And it has been difficult. It has been more beautiful because I enjoy all the times that I failed and led me to this. I am wearing one of my art hoodies, one of the last 3 in this collection, because I take 10 and turn them around. So the owl just finally sold. The hat is my art brand. The stuff you see, and you don't see all the change right now because it's still chilly outside. We might lose the snow by tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
But the hoodie on the back, it always comes with an inspirational quote, and you can hit me up for that. Shameless plug, first one of the year. But I am not online. You can't point, click, Amazon me. You have to talk to me. It's something I made part of my brand, and for any entrepreneur, creative out there, artists, activists, hold on to what you got. They're already taking away all the rest of the currency that we have. So, I just heard New York just went cardless and stuff like that. So for the people in the turnstiles and everything up there, there's no coins, there's no metro. You got to hope you got a smartphone, some juice, and some battery. And for elderly, I don't know what to do for them, but that is us. And we thank each and every last one of you for watching with us, for conversating, everybody in the chat.
That's right.
What's up, Joseph, Dewey? What's up to the pre-people that were on our pre-show? As we might start doing that, it's going to be up to Brother Washington and stuff.
Yeah, we'll work that out, however we do it.
So it'll be like the pregame behind the scenes before our guests get here, and give them time to get here, no dead space. But there's a lot going on in the community. I will be talking about the Northwest Ohio mentorship business thing. Their first cohort is coming up. So if you do got a business, you want to earn some grant money, you want to know how people who are actually doing it, not just online, like you can do this to make a lot of money. No, this pays my bills. This makes me live. If I don't get a sale, I might not eat today. Those people is the ones you need to be talking to. And lastly, before I go into how all of this starts and how you can keep that momentum, even if you're not in the streets protesting, bombing somebody's house, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out there doing that stuff.
Yeah,
but,
bombing somebody's house. That
exactly. That wasn't recorded.
Exactly. Yeah.
Happy Insurrection Day. Trump, we might get some tariffs from this oil. That might be the next thing. We get like, hey, I'm gonna give y'all oil money now that I got it.
No, I don't think we're seeing a dime of that.
Man, I'm wondering what happened to what was the last thing?
The Iraq oil. And then the Libya oil.
But he said something about
Syria oil
that we was gonna get. No, just him.
Oh, the Doge when they.
Oh yeah, the Bitcoin and all that stuff. Whenever that'll come. But last thing, shout out to the Scribe. I came in. I always grab newspapers, see what's going on in the community. Go to your library. It's one of the last free resources available. PBS is gone now. And that hurts my heart and my childhood so much. I just seen it on the news. But
yeah, I saw that.
Go to your local libraries. They are a resource for anything that you need. Stop going to Google. Stop going to these content creators that only want your like and views, and learn something. They got programs and everything, but grab a copy of the Scribe. I'm on page 1. I didn't expect it because I know I put it in last year, but places like that never tell you when you're going to be in something to be like a month later. Oh, you didn't grab the issue. Anyway, here's how you can control, or how you know if you are in a right space when you join an organization. They have a Bible or Bible, as I call it, a rule of instructions of how they got there, where they're going, and rules that they just aren't willing to break for money or anybody else. And this is us.
And we call that a mission statement. And then I'll follow up with the guiding principles.
Yep. And that's our walls and foundation of how we make all this work, how we don't have to take sponsorships, do trendy stuff, do topic and stuff like that, because we want an authentic version of us when we look back, when we can't do it no more. Anyway, we are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2000. Yes, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, yes, most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable, yes, accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
And hopefully soon what we'll do, maybe later on, is give our Black Lives Matter moment, since it's been 11 years together, of some of the things, or at least one or two of the things that have really stood out. And shout out to Julian Max watching us on, checking in on YouTube, and which was, we used to call him Mr. Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
because there was never
a spokesperson.
Yeah, and help put this thing on a map.
Yep.
You know, and man, this hopefully one day we'll have a show, and really, go down the list of those foundation people that man, without them, I know our movement wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah.
And before we get to that, there's a way that we keep things all together. Those are our guiding principles, having strong attitudes and strong personalities and finding a way to blend it all together. It was a miracle that we were at the Movement for Black Lives convening in Cleveland, Ohio, and we heard their guiding principles. And we're like, okay, I think we can take that, as we always do, remix it, all right, and make it our own. These are the CSRN guiding principles. All Black lives matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And that means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principal struggle can't exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe?
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe?
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe?
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe?
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
I wanted to talk about one of my Black Lives Matter moments. And I like to say that we have really supported the Kwanzaa movement here in Toledo.
You just took mine.
Okay. All right. Well,
you said a whole different one, Offset, and now you took mine because I was going to say Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Keep going. I'm going to think of
another. I found out I learned about Kwanzaa maybe a little bit over 20 years ago. And I know that in this in the activist space, everybody may not be with everything, but Kwanzaa and those principles I think are really important, even to the vibe of the protest community. It's not a religion, it's not a political thing that you got to decide, and it's not a club that you got to join. And I'm just proud of everybody that comes out and supports Kwanzaa, supports the principles, and get involved. So if I took yours, but you could also talk about what that meant to you, since we didn't rehearse this.
True. Well, I'm going to take it a step further because I was going to say Kwanzaa and stuff like that. Also, shout out to everyone that joined us this year for Kwanzaa, even for the one-day break we had to take because of the weather and stuff. You still came back, and it was a great celebration. I love seeing everybody. Thank you to all the people that came and purchased from the vendors. Thank you to all the performers that came to made it what it was. And mine is going to be our support of the community in a whole. As an organization or a grassroots anything, you don't see many people leave their districts, their neighborhoods, or their blocks. And one thing I can say for us is we are everywhere. We support the Doug, we support the Friendly Center, we support certain elected or soon to be elected officials by giving them a platform to speak that isn't political. We do fundraisers and stuff for people. Even if you don't see our stuff publicly all around, you might see us in that little bug of sponsorships, like doing the Park Jam, which you don't see organizations do because they rather have you come to their fundraiser.
Right.
Go to everybody else's fundraiser. So that is my Black Lives Matter moment of actually living the whole flash mob and going to support your community. We've done those too, where we flash mob pals and everything like that. So,
I recently during the Kwanzaa program, during the Kwanzaa planning, somebody talked about doing the cash mob. That's when we go to a black store. We decide that as a group, we're going to go there and we're going to buy something. And we're going to invite other people to do that, which is still a good idea now because economics is really important. And sometimes you got to have a certain push, and awareness for that. So yeah, that was a great time that we actually did that at your community market. And we had the Black Money song. All right. That was my attempt to rapping. All right. But we use all the tools that we can. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and we're going to get into, we got a couple of things from the Final Call newspaper that I wanted to get into. And man, there's a couple other things that I wanted to talk about. and see your point of view of it.
Awesome.
So we'll do that and come back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. Family, I wanted to bring up this issue of the Final Call newspaper, and big shout out to Joe Dewey, Julian Mack. As a matter of fact, for Joe Dewey, we still present his artwork at nearly every event that we attend, and we have a little prop table here in the studio that will lay out all of our offensive buttons and placards. And brother, your drawing is one of those. And man, I wanted to share this week's issue of the Final Call newspaper. The last issue was U.S. is ramping up. The drums of war, are have started for this war thing. I think that one thing that America exports is war. That's probably the number one industry that this country has. And pick up this issue of the Final Call newspaper. It also talks about how God is using the forces of nature to humble America. So even though America is trying to bully everybody, I want to see if America could bully a snowstorm. All right.
Mhm.
If it could bully a thunderstorm or a mudslide. But before I do that, before we get into this issue of the Final Call newspaper, one of the things that we do at Kwanzaa is there's something that we call a libation. And a libation is when we give reverence to those who've contributed to our community, who've contributed to us as a people, not only nationally and internationally. And we call out their name and we say Ashe. And Ashe means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. I've been asked if a libation means that we're worshiping those who have gone on. No, it's not about worshiping. It's acknowledging all of their achievements. It's acknowledging their presence. It's acknowledging what they left behind. And, no one has a problem acknowledging Galileo. Nobody has a problem acknowledging George Washington or Christopher Columbus or Thomas Jefferson, or St. Patrick. We'll do that all day and never think about how we're participating in a libation for our former slave masters and their children, and have no problem about it whatsoever. But I wanted to bring up our sister, Dr. Gwen Wilson. I was notified yesterday that our sister had transitioned, and even though some may say that, man, it's a sad thing. Yes, it's sad because we lose one of our soldiers, and she was highly intelligent. However, she always made us look like we were smart too. All right. So I love that about her. I love that about, even though she was educated and lettered, she always talked to us in a way that we understood. And I had met her, Jody, in 2005. This was right before the city of Toledo. I think that was Jack Ford. It was Eugene Sanders and Mike Bill as fire chief. They allowed the Nazis to come into the north side.
Yeah, right.
And somebody had asked me at that time, people were meeting before the Nazis came to talk about restorative justice and what does that look like, so that maybe they don't get tricked into that rioting, thing, because it's a trap. Because the Nazis are going to leave, our brothers and sisters, they're going to be the ones in court.
Right.
All right. And I was going through the North End at that time, talking with some of the young brothers, and that's where I met Gwen, Dr. Gwen, right in the middle of that, having these listening sessions, and from then we have been organizing. She was one of the first. I think she may have had the first Black charter school in Toledo. If I'm wrong about this, it's okay if I'm corrected. I don't mind being corrected. But it was called Village Shule, and she was one of the first people to really give the idea that we can have our own schools. And she was not only the owner, the director of the school, and I had a couple of friends, their children had attended Village Shule, and to keep that spirit alive. And even though the school isn't here anymore, she didn't stop working. And we love her. And whenever we mention Dr. Gwen Wilson, we'll say Ashe. Yeah. And I think that you and I worked with her on a couple of things.
Yeah, a few projects.
She
used to come to all the meetings. I remember, in fact, she had first purchased some of my artwork or books. It was when we did we all went together as a group to the Valentine for, was it Not a Slave? Or
I'm trying to think, was it Lion King?
No. It was like Not a Slave or something like that.
Or was it Dr. King?
Well, it was an independent play.
Okay.
It was an independent play. We all went to the Valentine Theater. Me, you, Ruth, your wife. Gwen was there. And we were sitting down, and I don't know why. Oh, yeah, she had wanted some artwork before, and I just brought it to that thing we were at. There was a great back shot of us with the artwork.
I know. And
I
hopefully,
cannot remember the name of the play, though, but
hopefully one day I'll get that picture, because we took a really good picture together afterward, all of us together.
I know when we had Venice here, shout out to Venice, is council president now and everything, and all the council people that were sworn in, and the commissioners had something going on.
Right.
So.
And I think they chose a new president. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who. I think
Kerry. So Kerry stepped down, and I think
no, okay.
Sobecki.
Okay, Sobecki was the president last year. Man, we need to get our political
That's
names.
okay. We're gonna be seeing them soon.
Oh, Anita Lopez. Anita Lopez, she's still there, isn't she?
She's still there.
Okay,
Gherkin's
so we've got
there.
Gherkin. So there's 3 commissioners.
And one of them is president.
All right. All right. This should be on FanDuel or something. We can bet on who the president is.
Yeah,
oh,
but
man.
It's okay. But yeah, with Robin and stuff, she brought Venice here. We had a community gathering and stuff. One of our first live audience shows that we did with the podcast, and then she was doing something out in the park for
Right.
Juneteenth, and I think that's around the last time I saw her. I know I wished her, because I went through my phone for New Year's. Anybody that's messaged me in person or online, I gave them a good old Happy New Year's post and tried to bring in some encouragement. I actually got a bad response. Somebody, don't tell me New Year's
All
today.
right.
I'm like, but yeah, it's kind of crazy because you never know.
Right. And to honor Dr. Wilson, soon you'll see us posting on our page. It's called the Breaking the Silence. Every year at the Monroe Methodist Church, right there. Monroe is a United Methodist Church. I hope I'm right. I should know this. But every year, Dr. Lynn Hamer and others organize to talk about Dr. King's speech regarding Vietnam. And all of us take a portion of that speech, go up to the microphone and recite our part. And then afterward, most of us have tables that people can come up and ask us about our part of the speech. What else do we represent? Because most times I'm there representing CSRN, but also have the Final Call newspaper there. We have our buttons there and other things there.
I've had my artwork there one year.
And Dr. Gwynn is always in the mix of that. And also Dr. Gwynn was into a lot of the multi-faith work too.
Yep.
So, man, we're going to carry Dr. Gwynn's spirit on with everything that we do. We may not look as smart as she is, but hey, we're going to try our best. So when we mention our sister, Dr. Gwynn Wilson, we'll always say Ashe.
Ashe.
And before we take a short break, because we're going to come back with our updates, some of the things that we've done in the community. I've already mentioned Kwanzaa, and I think this week's edition of the Sojourner's Truth should have some pictures of Kwanzaa in there.
Yeah,
both,
I'll see if I can go grab that too.
Yeah, both at the Doug and at the Padua Center. But I wanted to bring up this story regarding U.S. bombs Venezuela. And if I go to the Final Call newspaper, you could either pick up the paper from one of the brothers that's going to be at the corners of Bancroft and Detroit. Hopefully this week we may be in Detroit promoting Savior's Day. That's the Nation of Islam's annual conference. Yeah. I think I will call it a conference. Convention, convention. So I don't have to spend a whole bunch of time talking about it. It's like the Nation of Islam convention, the state of the Black world. All right, and if you haven't been to a Savior's Day, you need to come. I'm reading this from the Final Call newspaper. It says global condemnation was swift and strong against the United States for militarily attacking and bombing the city of Caracas in the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela and abducting and forcibly removing its sitting president from the country. It says that the invasion took place at 2 a.m. Following weeks of threat by the United States President Donald Trump of possible ground operations in the oil-rich Venezuela under the guise of targeting illicit drug networks. It goes on to say, after an intense firefight at the palace, President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, were taken by U.S. forces, placed on a warship, and brought to New York to be charged with U.S. criminal drug charges. According to U.S. officials, the detainment is based on a 2020 narco-terrorism indictment in New York during the first Donald Trump administration. And lastly, it says, however, the legality of the move is being questioned, prompting swift denunciations and condemnation. International law forbids the forcible seizure or kidnapping of an individual from another state's territory, especially a head of state. So, How do you, I don't, we're going to find out how this is going to shake out, because if you can just, if the United States could just make up something
and pull up on somebody,
a
and
country,
take you and your little dog. Now
a
she's
country,
she's a little dog too.
Whole,
but it's just, what did the wife have to do?
A whole country. America is, I say America is American.
Mm-hmm.
And America is like, it's like something
Watch out,
that
Nigeria.
Yeah.
Any other countries that have resources.
But as America is doing it, it's like a ball of yarn that's unraveling. The more it does, the more it unravels until it's going to be hardly anything left.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know, before we go and stuff, I want to say something to all the world leaders. I get it, we're citizens and all this stuff, but this was a country, and y'all really just let somebody pull up to another person's country, kidnap them, and y'all ain't gonna say nothing at all. There ain't no, even a message online of, we don't think this is right, nothing. Everybody just turned around while he's sitting there, help me.
Yeah, and it reminds me of during chattel slavery. And even though the slaves could be so-called married and have their own hut or sleeping area on the plantation property, anytime the slave master could just walk in your house, I want your wife tonight, I'm taking her, you can't do anything. Everyone in that village living area seeing this happen.
Yeah.
So America is doing this, acting as if the whole world is a colony.
And I guess they don't have kids, or I don't know if they have kids. I haven't looked into it, all of that, but I guess they would be in cages too if they had their own kids.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. We're gonna see how this, how this pans out. But as I was saying, that it appears that, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this, I think 2 years ago, he talked about the unraveling of a great nation, meaning at one point, it looked like you guys had it together. Then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, we don't even care. We're not even given a legitimate excuse. All right, let's
he
just
said in this first one, I could go into the streets of New York and shoot somebody and nobody would say nothing.
Yep.
Proving it right.
Right. And instead of saying, hey, we're going in to get your oil, they're saying we're going in to get your oil.
But no, he was blatant. That's what,
that's crazy.
For all the hate and stuff, I can honestly say he's blatant because he put up, we own Venezuela now.
Yeah,
we gonna do what we want with their
all
oil.
Right.
It ain't yellow cake and all this other stuff. It's
all right.
Just,
no,
you got oil. It's America's now.
All right. Okay.
And no other country's like, wait,
no,
maybe it'll get pawned off to Russia.
No, it's like, hey, where's our cut? All right, since we didn't get involved, where's our cut? Where's our piece of the pie? Hey, look, I think we're gonna go. I don't want to go too far into this. We're gonna save some time for our sub dates. Let's take a short break and come back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review.
Canal. En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
All right, we are back on. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. Hey, before we get into our updates, I want to give a big shout out to the Frederick Douglass Community Center, and particularly, Leslie McCoy. All right, she was there as the our chief contact person. And if you want to find out what's going on at the Frederick Douglass Community Center, check in with Leslie McCoy. She made sure that the Frederick Douglass was open for us, the Kwanzaa Committee, all 7 days. And that's a lot of work to have an event, a 2-hour event, a 2-hour plus event, 7 days in a row. And this for 2026, 2027, we're recruiting a bit more committee members and try to get a little bit more awareness about Kwanzaa and make it more, make it as diverse with our people as we can. But a really big shout out to Leslie McCoy and everyone at the Doug, including Doug at the Doug, that helped make that happen. But I really want to get into the updates. I already talked about the Final Call newspaper. We talked about the big update of Dr. Gwen Wilson passing, and every time we mention her, we'll say Ashe for our sister who is now ascended to ancestor, and we love her, and she's still with us. All right, she's still with us. I also want to talk about some of the things that you've seen that's happening in the community. We talked about the Scribe newspaper. I wasn't expecting that today, so I was glad to see, we're involved in art. Art is revolutionary. Art is revolutionary. So I don't want to take any more time. What have you seen in the community that needs to be lifted up?
Well, again, art is important in the community, and this is updates. If you're new to the show and everything like that, I try and tell you what has happened previously towards our last show. So I'm going to be going back to right around Christmas time, talking about the events and things going on, and then what's coming up for the beginning of the year, because there's a whole bunch of stuff. So bear with me right here. I'm going to pull up some things that people have invited me to or I went to. I ain't got too much stuff recently because I was at Kwanzaa all week, which shout out to everybody that showed up, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But showing up from our last show that we had on December 23rd, going forward, we had the Changes Encore show. This was an event that was an encore show with Kayla Renee. If you were there, she's actually one of my cousins and stuff. She just released some new music and all that good stuff. There's a whole bunch of holiday play and videos from the event on her page. So shout out and congratulations to her. At 5050 Jackman Road, Sunday, December 28th, there was the Great Gatsby Party. and that was a international at the International Event Center. This was, Great Gatsby party, admission $5. So anybody that was out, figuring it was all age event featuring Hepcat Revival. It was a special zoot suit and everything performance. So pretty sure that looked awesome to everybody that was able to make it. The Ohio Body Poetic Country, my movement 'tis thee, all that stuff. But that happened January 4th, 2026 at 6 p.m. This was the Ohio Poetry Association. It was a panel discussion on national literary and expression. And then you had Tuesday, which was, of course, today, Lucas County Commissioners. They had their first meeting of the year. All the swear-ins, all the officials and everything. Shout out to you. Hopefully you find ways in your term. I know many of the at-large, it's their last term, and then they'll have to either do something else in politics or recycle and run for one of the
other
numbered
things.
seats, like Sorrento did. He was a number, and then he is an at-large now. But shout out to all of them. Hope you fix roads, find something to invest in Toledo that's not the police. Did see that coming out of the mayor's office.
I saw that. Get them housing.
Yeah, using the money.
Find your own house.
To buy houses for officers. And not that that's a bad thing. I'm not hating or being angry about that. What I am angry about is that we are lacking in so many other areas of resources, especially with DEI, or as it is, being gone, and all the other programs being gone. You could invest that somewhere else. But at least, last year, firefighters did finally get their contract after what, 3 years. So maybe moving a step forward. Downtown is about to change in a big way with the Riverwalk still under construction. I know for anybody that does watch the show and stuff and everything, they are in the process of trying to remove, as we will always know them, the cherry woods, or the green belt, as some people know them, in the procedures of trying to purchase that land, to update it, upgrade it, all that other stuff, basically move everybody out so it looks nicer for downtown. But I know that process is going on now. Next week, I will be headed into my official elected office and go in and see what's all the stuff going on. So shout out to anybody that's got stuff going on. And that was kind of it, because I was at Kwanzaa in between work and everything. So upcoming this week is what I'll go into. But shout out to all my coworkers at the Toledo Museum of Art. For me, outside of this, all of the things that I do to kind of help make it happen, spread joy in the community, is go out and donate. Artist, I work at the Art Museum. Tomorrow is our Christmas party, and I am bringing $500 in merchandise with me. So all of my coworkers and people at the art is going to get crystals and artwork and the chapbook known as the Lost Storyteller, as a way for me to see the creativity of this. Because everywhere I go, I am a NASCAR badge. So I carry all of my organizations. That includes the Historic Vistula Association, Crave, and all the other boards, TARTA, that I am on, and very proud to be, as I walked out of my place. And for those of you that don't know, and if this is your first time watching it, I live in the Weilers, which is a project in our community, because I said when I decided to do this and take all these offices and do all this stuff, I want to live in the neighborhood I'm trying to improve. I can't do that looking down on them or saying I don't understand, when a lot of times it's not they don't, it's they don't live with you. They don't understand the blight that you do. So as long as I live in that environment and could still travel the world, still sell books, still inspire people. My neighbor came out, I guess he's a new neighbor. He was like, "You're the one dude to be with all the white people." If you understand anything about where I live and how I grew up, that means a lot to me, because he was like, "You be having so much fun." And I'm like, "Yeah, I want you to come. I want you to learn about investments, banking, and financial literacy and stuff," because I wasn't taught it. So I found a way to get into these spaces. But anyway, back to the updates. This is some of the stuff that I've been invited to this year coming up. I hope you're able to make it. Starting off with this Saturday, we have Uncloistered Poetry, the first poetry show of the year. And we have two very special guest features. We have Kay Renee and Linda Lowbegger. Hopefully I'm not saying your name wrong, but I'll see you this Saturday.
That's right.
We got that going on at the Attic, 6 to 9 p.m., 1701 Adams. I hope to see you there. It'll also be, well, today is technically my first performance of the year. Well, I never count the radio shows because, this is something I do out of love, not for anything else. I don't expect nothing from it, but I thank you all for listening. Other upcoming shows is this Saturday at 4 p.m. There is a vision board hosted by Latoya Marie. It's at 4 to 7 p.m. Hopefully go on your social medias and look it up. It's going to be at the Jamaican Reggae Kitchen and Lounge, 1208 North Reynolds Road, Toledo, Ohio, 43615. And that is the vision board. Then we have, because I also want to mix not my friend stuff in there, Thursday, January 15th, and I believe we'll be back by then. But still, so it is Studio Sessions with Lethal. It's a new open mic that's starting up every third Thursday of the month at Studio 329 4062 Monroe, or 4062 Monroe is radio. You learned how to say things a little bit better. It's $10 in advance, slightly higher at the door. Tickets can be purchased at 329 Studios. So open mic, if you're into that and all that good stuff, I do plan on going, I believe, if I'm off. And that is what I have up until next week. 1 second, let me look at my pending invites. It might be some stuff I just ain't, checked on. Nope, that is the only things going on. There's the Handmade Mic next Tuesday, January 13th. And that is going on at Handmade Toledo, 1717 Adams Street, Toledo, Ohio. And yes, that is the only invites I got. But still, check my page. I know there's a sewing class going on with Unbound Artists. There may not be the event page yet. So if you look on my page this year, I am going to try and improve on posting more stuff on our page that is community focused and not so event focused, because for over the years, if you got something going on, this protest activity thing, we put it on our page. But
true,
things like Unbound Artists, creative art events, I'm going to start putting on our page to engage more with the community. We want to help.
So. All right. One of the things that I wanted to just update, nearly a year ago, a car ran right, and I got the logo of our local mosque, the Nation of Islam, here in Toledo. And it looks like things are starting to get moving on getting the materials. We've got a couple of people that are going to volunteer their time, and their skill to make that happen. And a big shout out to the Padua Center. From right now, we're meeting at 1416 Nebraska is right down the street from where we normally meet, or at the corners of Junction and Nebraska. And we got the ticker that says Sunday at 11. There's other meeting times too, but check us out. And a big shout out to the Padua Center for allowing us to just have that as our temporary meeting space. And it's something that it's the same space we were meeting at for CSRN.
Yes, it is.
So we just move some things around and make it happen. And put that as Black History Month is coming up. I want to mention the flag. I don't have any
contracted stuff.
Yeah, I don't have any contracted stuff or any pictures or anything, any artwork regarding the flag raising, but it is happening.
Is it going to be that Monday?
Sunday,
because the 2nd is Monday.
Yeah. No, it's going to be, the flag raising is going to be on the 3rd, because we normally have it on the same day that the city so that the commissioners are meeting. So the flag raising is going to happen on the 3rd. We're working right now to get the time together and the speakers together for that day. And we're going to have our elder be Terry Crosby. He's like the ambassador for for
Kia,
for Taylor Kia.
he just wrote a book.
Right. He just wrote a book. He was a high level basketball player. He played professional basketball. He came back to Toledo, and just briefly, both he and I had worked together. All right. Worked together real close. And he had this idea that he could make his brand an actual thing. All right. Take his attitude, his demeanor, and his discipline, and actually make it a thing. And he's like a community ambassador. And if you have a program and it fits within what he's trying to do, he helps a lot of people. Some that he can help, some maybe not, So I was really glad that he was able to help represent the Pan-African flag raising on the 3rd of February. We'll get back to you for the actual time. We want to have a bigger push for this year, because every year something goes down. I'm like, hey, Jody, this may be either the year that it happens or the year that we make it happen.
Yeah,
all right.
I know last year we had because they closed the outside, so we had to do it more so inside. But I think it's open now from the construction work that we're doing. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing everybody. I already know well ahead of time what I'll be performing to open this year up. But got a couple more updates, and then we can get on with, I'm guessing, do you got some more updates?
No, we're going to get our first 5 minutes of heat of 2026.
So just a quick overview of everything that I'm seeing for the Unbound workshops going on. There is the Sew and Go starting January 15th. Then they have more classes. They got Level Up Sewing, photography workshops also starting January 14th. Painting workshop starting January 21st. And then we got the Respect Your Crown. That's our sister Sunkiss. She owns the Respect Your Crown beauty company, and she does the Respect Your Mic, which we will be back to our open mics on February 11th. So that's coming up, and I'll be talking about that in the recurring weeks. Also, my first feature of the year is coming up in 2 Wednesdays. I believe that's the 21st for the Poetry and Soul at Lucille's. There is also grant funding information session, and this is going to be for nonprofit organizations. This is, I believe, the city of Toledo, but there is a link on my page if you're looking for the person that put the link up first. Shout out to one of our sisters, Rena Dawson. She is posted on my page.
We got to get her back on too.
We got to get her back on. And then, of course, there is, if you are working with art or an apprenticeship, the youth apprenticeships are now hiring at the Arts Commission. So you can apply. The deadline is by March 13th for the Young Artist at Work program. So we got a whole bunch of people that look like they could be young artists sitting outside our door right now. And then finally is what I was talking about. And you could probably pick it up at your local library and museum, or go downtown when you want to talk to your politicians. There is the Northwest Ohio Business Mentoring Program. They have 2 cohorts every year, the spring and the fall. The next one, the deadline to sign up is January 31st. That is for this onboarding. And then the next onboarding is going to be August 31st. The cohort kickoff is going to be in the spring of February. So when you apply, just be ready. It is a course. So make sure that you have the time in your schedule, in your space. If you're going to apply for this, you can go online and look at it. There's a QR code. I'll probably be posting a picture on my page.
All right.
And I've been to a couple of them. That's how I got some of the chains around my neck. But I look forward to maybe actually joining the class if my schedule allows this year and doing the cohort. And I believe that is all of my updates so far for the beginning of the year.
All right. If you like what we do and you want to support us, you can support us via Cash App, CSRN Toledo 419, or PayPal CSRN 419. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, listen to us on Spotify, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the notification so that whenever we have a new podcast, you'll be the first to know. And soon we're going to get ourselves together and start posting on X, formerly known as Twitter. And for 2026, we're going to make our first TikTok with our CSRN TikTok. So, hey, we're a couple of years behind,
I
but we're
leave all that to the well-digital hands of Brother Washington.
all right. So you know it's all bad right there. All right, you know it's all bad.
Or intern. We might, we have some spots open for interns if you want to intern for CSRN. And
I was going to say we got all the spots. All right. Yeah. So that also is a great idea. If you like social justice and you want to get involved, I think that's one of the things that we can do is take a lot of our YouTube clips and create them and be able to create some TikTok shorts for that, just to keep the momentum going. Okay, so for right now, when it comes to 5 minutes of heat, and that's how we close out. We use creative expression the same way we do with Quans. We have creative expression, CSRN. We adopted that to close out a different way, and we call it 5 minutes of heat. It's a take on the hey, look at my hands, my hair. It's a take on the song by Houdini called 5 Minutes of Funk. This was from the early 90s or late 80s. And we remixed the words and come up with 5 minutes of heat. And for the last 11, 12 years, Jody has been our designated 5 minutes of heat person. What do you have for us today?
So as I closed out last year with 2 minutes of your time, and I've already hitting all my bingo things on this year. I also want to shout out to all the people who responded to me back and told me stuff that, for me, I live kind of in my own bubble. So I know what I could deal with, but I never think of the people around me dealing with a lot. And I got so many messages back of people who were like, I needed that message. It's been a rough year. It's been hard. Social media, but sometimes nobody ever tells me these things. And it shocked me because it's weird, but I go outside and people are always like, hey, you're awesome and stuff like that. I don't know how to personally deal with it because I didn't grow up hearing that, but to hear a grown adult or somebody that might be older than me tell me, thank you so much for telling me you see me, because I don't even get that from my children, means a lot. So
all right, so if his children are listening, all right, maybe we could double up on that allowance because you heard it here, all right?
But so this piece is called Find You. If you're dealing with a lot this year, I hope it helps you. The last piece that I wrote on my page, I said it wasn't going to turn into a poem. I did, but you won't see it for a couple of years now, or until I start rebooting and doing my videos again. But this is from interesting Black History Month. February 13th, 2024. It's published in my latest book, Childhood Trauma Series, Volume 2. Go check it out if you can. You can find it on Amazon and all that good stuff, or contact me to get your photograph, signature, and special insert, so you know it's real. But, and if you've never heard me live before, as I do plan on doing so many less shows this year, unless the feature price is right and my schedule is right, because I want to spend more time with my grandson, Josiah. Here's how I open my shows. I am an open book, yes, open book to those that decide to read. 1,000 words, yes, 1,000 words to those who've only caught a glimpse of me. And a lifetime, yes, a lifetime to those that can say they were part of the story. If you are anywhere under the sound of my voice, you are now family. Because on this stage, yes, on this stage is where I share the most vulnerable parts of myself. And I hope, yes, I hope that you hear me. So let's begin. Peace. Find you. Heal. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen in your time, but it will, yes, will happen in time. Heal. No matter how long it takes, your journey is to find you. Heal, because you deserve it. Heal. So there'll be one more person, yes, one more person to show people the way. Heal. So you can be happy, yes, happy without having to try. Heal. It's going to take time. No one can heal for you. So it's up to you to be the best, yes, best version of yourself. Stop ghosting yourself to give everyone else what you need and heal. So your trauma, yes, your trauma doesn't affect you in places you should be celebrating at. Heal. Those tears of despair will only create puddles until you heal and see the vast ocean of emotions that you've poured out into the world over your journey. It's okay to feel lost, unwanted, misunderstood, wrong, ignorant, and incomplete. But if you heal, you will understand how all of that, yes, all of that makes you the main character of your story. Heal. It's going to take time. It's not going to be easy because the process of getting there was so traumatic, yes, so traumatic, it stopped you from loving on you properly. So heal and learn to love yourself better until it's no longer an action you have to take in desperation for your soul, but a part of you that you walk with every day. Heal. It's not a process you have to take alone either. So stop closing off those, yes, those that really mean you well. It's okay because it's a part of the process of isolation and trauma from giving your trust, yes, giving your trust to the wrong people and watching them misuse it because they did not know, yes, did not know the journey you were meant to take. But please, don't stay isolated forever or you'll become hardened to all the things that feed your inner child. Heal. It's going to take time. But in life, that is all we got. And it's something, yes, something so precious to take a hold of. Heal. So when love, yes, love comes to find you, it's not another battle you have to fight trying to understand why someone needs you. In peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. I want to thank you for our first 5 minutes of heat for 2026. And I think that could be our anthem.
Yeah.
You know, you can heal and you can heal first. All right.
Yeah.
You don't have to try to heal everybody.
Yeah. You don't have to take everybody's advice to heal and you know, work on you, find your mistakes, love your mistakes. It's okay. We're all human. Nobody has the right answer. If we did, we wouldn't have so many other options.
That's right. That's right.
But you're your only option.
Right. And and I guess there's no option for next week. We're going to be here. All right. We're going to be here. And we look forward to being on this podcast again. We look forward to having some recaps of the things that have gone on the previous week. And we look forward to presenting some of the things that's coming up as we do in our subdates. And as always, all lives can't matter until what? Black lives matter. And Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else?
Yeah.
Peace.